So as things stand, let's start with the news about what's happening around the world. Hey, what's being published is really interesting. This is published by a site called Interesting Engineering, which is a site more focused on defense topics, military issues, and things like that. And right now, there are some forums that have been talking about the same thing that happened a year ago, around June 14th, more or less, when this war broke out. Do you remember the war that happened over there between Iran, Israel, and the United States in June of last year? Well,
Then
exactly. At that time, this situation happened about a year ago. So what's surprising or interesting is that we're seeing a very similar pattern. And there's audio on a signal used for military purposes, specifically for nuclear related purposes, that has been transmitting a signal for the last 90 hours nonstop. This is what's unusual. They call it unheard of or atypical, abnormal, let's say. This, well, was last year, right? And right now we're repeating the pattern again, right? I'd like us to listen to this audio, okay? For us, it won't mean much. I'm only going to play it for a couple of seconds because it's kind of intense. Let's see if you don't find it too loud, but, well, don't say I didn't warn you, right? Let's listen. A little bit of this audio. And today we'll talk to you about why this signal is important, right? Let's listen to it. Wait a moment. Let's put it here. Not that one. It's this one. Today we have that robot thing, which is pretty funny. But listen to the... Well, there it is. What can be confirmed and what cannot. What can be confirmed is that the audio exists. I mean, the signal is there. That can be confirmed. It can also be confirmed that this place, or rather this type of signal, is also used for military purposes. There are things we do know are exactly like that. We're not going to listen and see what it was about because it's concerning according to some intelligence sites. From the United States, the war situation, the context we're still in, the high-frequency global communication system is a real military network used by the United States Air Force to link aircraft, bases, and strategic assets. That's what they use, which carries what they call emergency messages, or emergency action messages, or AMs. AMs are encrypted and highly sensitive messages, although it doesn't automatically mean this is a matter of launching a nuclear attack or things like that. But in the last 90 hours, according to reports, it has been monitored. Specialized accounts like NetIntel, who focus on monitoring these audio feeds 24 hours a day, every day. They have a team of people reviewing them. You can easily access the website. It's called something like NetIntel, and they publish all this information. The important thing here is that it's not just the topic being transmitted, but also the HGCS pattern, which is operating constantly. But right now, it's increasing the amount of information being transmitted. They report several possible reasons, but honestly, no one really knows why this is happening. Some say it could be a test of strategic resilience. Others say it could be an air unit synchronization. Others think it might be nuclear command exercises. Some believe it may be large transfers of encrypted packets. We'll discuss more theories, though not all, since many are circulating. Some are exaggerated, others less so, but currently there are many narratives at once. There's also the UFO theory, that exactly when this happens or is revealed, this signal started a few days before, but also during a moment of high tension in the Middle East. What's going on there?
Well, what is true is that these HGCS have historically always increased their activity when there's a lot of geopolitical movement, like what we're experiencing right now. The problem for the following OS is that they can't pick up the signal. I mean, the content can't be deciphered because obviously that's the point. These are military matters and they can't be decoded by just anyone. And if this pattern continues or escalates, well, the Analysts could say that these might possibly be movements like bombings, strategic flights, or even more concerning activities like nuclear commands.
So we're talking about the fact that there are other theories, for example, that this information is now being distributed through that network. Yes. That later, in the end, it will only reach or only be deciphered by the military apparatus, let's say, by the Pentagon. Could mean several things. One, the update of cryptographic keys, meaning that information contains the encoding of a new key, let's say, as if it were being sent, the new language that will exist, right? So for 90 hours, it's sending the signal to get the new cryptographic keys in order to understand the signals that will come later. In other words, it's like you're going to strengthen the cryptographic security. Another possibility is that a massive synchronization is happening in terminals to adjust details in case there needs to be an operation, so that everything is well adjusted and everyone is on the same signal, so to speak. It might also be a general resilience test. Another is electronics to avoid any confusion, and another possibility is that a command continuity exercise could be taking place because they are seeing something or simply because it was scheduled that way. According to the data that stands out, an alleged 90 hours is being reported according to what they say. And they say that, well, this isn't normal on this network, but also, well, there's no rule that says it can't be done. If this were, let's say, linked to a DEFCON or a nuclear alert, normally other indicators would appear. For example, the E6 Mercury flight, which hasn't been observed yet, or activity from the B-52s or the B-2S, which also hasn't been seen, or a rise at key bases, but so far we haven't received any reports of that. Well,
right now, interestingly, it just happened. In fact, I just shared the image with you. Yes, there are flights being seen over northern Iraq. We're talking about F-15S and KC-46, as which are tankers, meaning they're the ones that carry fuel for the planes.
Well, at this moment, these are the images. They're not B-52s or anything, but still, it's important to keep an eye on these movements. Those are the ones we're seeing here. So, well, that's about Iraq.
That's about Iraq and northern Iraq. Well,
pay attention to that, because today we were also talking about how Israel apparently made a move in the northern part that was discovered by Iran. Do you remember that recently there were explosions from Iran towards Iraq and everyone thought, well, it seems like it's the Kurds. They're attacking us and I don't know what else. Apparently, what happened is that Israel had an intelligence operation in the north, it seems. They will operate against Iran from there. A shepherd discovers them. Apparently, the shepherd gives the information and then Iran responds and attacks in that way. And well, right now we don't know the situation for this group of Israelis. If they had already left the area or what happened, it's still not clear. All of that is still uncertain. But things are happening in Iraq. We must remember Iraq neighbors Iran and has long been caught in the middle of the fighting.
Exactly, yes, that's right. Also, right now, we're in a moment of a lot of tension. Remember that yesterday Donald Trump said, well, they're going to respond to me? Obviously, I think he sat down and went to sleep too, because so far Iran hasn't given a really strong response. He did talk about certain points that Pepe mentioned in the morning and in the afternoon, but officially for them, there still isn't a response regarding the negotiations or the United States peace proposals.
Other information, other important facts as well about what's happening in the world. Since it's the weekend, there are also some interesting stories, and this is one of them that we're looking at. See,
we're watching the famous one. I think it's called Unit 3. Yes, and the other one is another robot called Snow, CF San Francisco. The other one is Engine. We're basically watching a drunken fight. Yes.
They're fighting.
Guys, I mean, you're hitting her here for the girl. Honestly, yes. All their fights are pretty lame.
You should watch more Vox. It's not like...
It's the same. It's just that they're drunk.
But
yes, a lot.
Yes, that's true.
Whoa! It's falling on its own. Check the other one.
Oh, they gave me too much fermented oil.
No, I wouldn't worry about it.
Oh, wow.
Oh, it can't be.
It can't be.
We still have a long way to go. We still have a long way to go. We can relax. We saw the other day how they went crazy. Well, how some of them went crazy there. You saw it?
Let's take it easy for now.
Yes, for now.
Sleep just fine.
I still wouldn't trust him with my house.
No problem. That too. Well, that too. This one stands out among the images that have been circulating. A really striking image. A person, well, who was apparently in one of these, what do they call them? Subways, right? In which, let's see, according to what they show, if we can put it here, this person sees this person who seems kind of out of it.
As if there was nothing wrong.
I think he feels drunk. I don't know what it is. But the person immediately raises the alarm using an emergency button. And he sends out the alert so that someone can come help. Because it looked like the person was collapsing, but at some point, the help still hasn't arrived and the person falls.
Chale.
Hey, well, the girl jumped in.
Se lo-
Se aventó. Parece que pasó. That's what I understand. The thing is, well, she falls. I mean, the person falls. Nothing happens to her or anything. But the most interesting thing is that the girl runs, and I'd even say is the first one out. Así.
Qué bárbaro.
Yeah, really bold, huh? Really bold. So weird. The girl jumps, then another guy jumps after her, and then another one between three of them. They pull him up. They help him up. Look, there's the girl climbing up. There's the girl climbing up, and then the other people come right away to climb up. Well, honestly, it's not clear to me where this happened, but apparently they say it was in Russia. Well, who knows, right? The subway stations often look very similar, right? Yeah, but what's interesting is the people's actions, right? That's what caught my attention, and that nothing worse happened, right? That really, well, everyone came out unharmed, right? Completely. No, well, he looks bad, right?
Yes, it could be anything, not necessarily alcohol or drugs, but maybe be something happening in their body, right? Some kind of problem.
Unbalanced, whatever it was. I don't know, but something was happening to him, maybe too many drinks or any number of things. But the point is, well, solidarity, right? Also there among the people, right? That's super interesting. And well, let's move on to other important matters. What else is happening in the world?
Well, let's talk about what's happening today.
Yes.
A phone conversation between Abbas Agarashi, who is the foreign minister of Iran,
Yes.
and the foreign minister of Turkey, Hakan Fidan, where he warns Abbas that they haven't given an official response to the latest proposal from the United States to try to stop the escalation. And this position from Iraq obviously puts everything on hold. Besides, it also puts Donald Trump in a very bad position, right? Because Donald Trump keeps saying that he's in a hurry to sign the agreement, right? That they already want to abandon the nuclear issue, etc. However, they are taking their time. Todo. I mean, it seems like they're not the ones in a hurry, right? I mean, they should receive a letter tonight. So we'll see how everything develops. Every time they interview the foreign ministry spokesperson,
Yes.
Abbas Agarashi, etc. They're always like, well, I think they're going to respond to them tomorrow, but I'm not sure. I mean, it really gets to them. I mean, you can tell by the way they talk because they don't want to see it, but it really hurts them a lot. Like we say, 1.5 meters of, the anxiety is just overwhelming.
Ugly.
Yes, uglier. Trump's comments that he's rushing them, that they have 24 hours, that they have until tonight. I don't know what. Well, Ismail Joaquin says, well, I think they're going to respond to them tonight. I mean, no, they don't care about rushing this issue.
Well, yeah. No. Well, in the end, they've already gotten into the habit of negotiating by taking their time. The style, well, classic, that Ali Khamenei himself had back when he was alive, which was to drag things out. That's the experience he had, and that's the experience Ali Khamenei leaves. In any case, to Muqtada, who, well, now intelligence sources say, well, it seems he is alive, wounded, but alive. And that the ambiguous approach they've taken has been the same one his father followed, but even more intense because, well, in the end, there's a rush, which is the issue of the Strait of Hormuz. And that urgency, well, the regime knows it perfectly well. Yeah.
They're the ones who, as they say, have the upper hand, right?
Yes.
They're the ones who really have everything under control, even though they're also in trouble, right? They can't get theirs out, but can still hold on for 4 more months.
Well, that's what US intelligence says. Yes, exactly. I mean, they're talking about roughly between 90 days, which is 3 months, to I think 120 days. So, yeah, who knows? And besides, today it's revealed. There's information about how the Caspian Sea is being used, which was already suspected, right? The Caspian Sea is helping transport supplies from Russia due to food shortages and lack of resources. But in the end, Russia, in that regard, both Russia and Ukraine are two countries that produce food in significant quantities. And well, what they produce, they're sending an important part of it to Iran. And besides that, other types of supplies that we don't know what they might be, but they're sending them from Russia to Iran. So, between that and what might arrive through the Caspian Sea, well, also from China, right? Because China doesn't have access right now through the Strait of Hormuz. Something could come from there, like through Afghanistan, right? We should remember that China has ties with Afghanistan and a good relationship with Pakistan. Remember that the Iranians have been sending oil to all these areas where they can get it in. Wherever they can send oil, they're sending it. There's a corridor where they used to send, what do they call it? Smuggled oil, right? I mean, barrels of smuggled oil, right? And so in trucking, the other day we showed the image here of how it looks in that corridor full of trucks that are going, or rather coming back from Pakistan through Afghanistan, coming back empty, right? Obviously to load more barrels. We would need to see more images for me to really be able to, or for all of us here to be able to make sure that supposedly that's what they're doing. It wouldn't sound that strange to me if it happened, but we would need to see if there's more information about it.
And at the same time that we see what the government is doing, they're just, they basically just shrug everything off, especially the Islamic Revolutionary Guard. They do put on pressure, but it's pressure and threats. Today, they made a very direct threat against the United States, saying that if they attack anything in Iran, they will retaliate. And they threaten to attack United States facilities if their oil tankers are attacked. When they say United States facilities in the Middle East, they're clearly talking about bases or attacking Gulf countries directly. They already take it for granted that everything in the Gulf countries is a representation of the United States for them, or at least that it affects the United States. And that's why they carry out these attacks in these areas. It says any attack against oil tankers or commercial ships will provoke a strong retaliation against one of the American centers in the region, as well as against enemy ships. They go after everyone equally. They don't care if South Korea is at war. They'll attack the South Korean tanker because the United States attacked an Iranian one. And the thing is, in recent days, the movements regarding the attacks have been intense. Well, not on Friday. On Friday, we saw a complicated moment.
Yes, of course, of course. I mean, the tension has been there. Well, today itself, there was an issue, a movement that I thought might get a strong response against the United States because there were supposedly 130 armed boats being deployed. I mean, like mines, right? Here we saw the satellite images that were shared, and you'd think, well, there's probably going to be a response, and there was nothing. Absolutely nothing. Yeah, if that's the case, like they say, if that satellite image, if the interpretation is correct, and they're laying mines, well, we'll find out tomorrow or by Monday at the latest with some oil tanker getting into trouble. We must remember, oil tankers have passed through there. They said that tankers from the United Arab Emirates had passed through, if I'm not mistaken, about 6 million barrels. I mean, secretly. They turn off the transponder, turn off the lights, and go very slowly.
In silence.
I imagine there are some boats or something going a little bit ahead.
I'm sure some crew members, like stage security, make deals where you pay them to let you through.
Like, go this way, go that way, because supposedly there are mines there, and well, they've been moving around, they've been passing through, but not in massive numbers, right? I mean, you have to remember that from there, if I'm not mistaken, 12 or 11 million barrels a day used to come out. I mean, that whole area, 6 million barrels isn't that big of a deal either. I mean, but still, in the end, some oil is moving around there. But with these movements, Well, it looks like things are going to get complicated there. There's a report of an image showing this smoke, this massive fire that supposedly destroyed a Sigma Renew 360 plastic recycling plant. This is over in Tennessee. What's going on?
What is known? Well, this fire broke out at this recycling plant. This happened yesterday, but the fire was so big that it even started showing up on weather radars. Impressive. How much smoke this plant generated. It's called Sigma Renew 360. And, well, this plant was obviously evacuated before the fire reached the proportions we're seeing in the video, because otherwise no one would have made it out. Unfortunately, no injuries or loss of life were reported.
Well, there you have the tremendous fire that happened in Tennessee in the United States.
It's really complicated with plastic recycling companies. Here in Monterrey, there are several, and sometimes fires break out and they're super hard to put out.
Yeah, it's tough. I mean, well, another issue among everything that's going on. Just let me really fix this, because otherwise it won't make sense. There it is. No. Yeah. It came together, and I'll get it right there, but I haven't copied it yet. There it is. Let's see what happened. Someone is being held at a consulate.
At a Mexican embassy. It's a Mexican cultural center that's in the United States.
It's always open. I mean, there's nobody guarding the door, and it isn't closed.
It's not like the embassy, which is more closed off.
No, think of it as a museum with its door always open.
Okay.
So since it's open, a person who, by the way, was armed, was running from the police and went into Mexcult, which is in Washington, D.C. And, well, fortunately, the police arrived. He's American, not Mexican. He's an armed criminal, an American national who was running from the police. He went into the institute like he thought, I'll just go in there, they won't see me. But, well, fortunately, the police caught him without hurting anyone. There were no injuries. There easily could have been a hostage or something like that, right? But, well, nothing happened.
It didn't escalate like it seemed it was going to. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because it's easy for that to happen. It's not always easy for those who get into this kind of trouble, of course, but, well, without any incident.
Greetings to Nova's dad, who says that on a day like today, in 1605, the first part of the ingenious gentleman Don Quixote of La Mancha by Miguel de Cervantes was published. Look at that, back in the 1600s. Nova's dad is awesome. He also says today is Billy Joel's birthday. He says, that's right. Good evening, my dear. Thank you very much. Greetings all the way to Ecuador. That's great. Awesome greetings. Thank you so much. Well, let's move on to another one. Another important topic as well. By the way, there's an amazing video. Some individuals with weapons arrive and shoot at a house that's abandoned. In other words, it's not inhabited, let's say. But at that moment, they're shooting at a house that belongs to Rocha Moya, according to what they say, right? Or allegedly, that's what they say there. A video is circulating showing the moment when individuals with semi-automatic rifles shoot at Rocha Moya's uninhabited house. Rocha Moya is the governor on leave, in other words, the governor. Anyway, the one who governed in Sinaloa and the person who is shooting is wearing a hat, which is like an identification of the Mayo group. Tremendo. So that could also be, well, it could be quite a strong message.
The governor was associated with the fact that he was taken to the United States.
Apparently, yes. There was a good relationship with Mayo, but then things suddenly changed. You know how it goes. But
Very, very, very strange. But if not, it's really amazing.
yeah, it's intense and things are happening. Also, where things happen often is on Twitter because, well, check out the message that Donald Trump posted where he says, buy drones.
Someone should take his intelligence away.
He gets excited using artificial intelligence and posts this destroyer destroying drones. Is it?
But I think he does it with a group, and their A's are always really ugly.
Horrible. Yeah, the design is really, really bad. It's just awful. Awful. But anyway, that's what he posted today, May 9th, on his Truth Social account. And well, the message draws attention, especially because, like I said, I don't know if he's president. I don't know. Or maybe he lends him his Twitter account. But Honestly, the posts are really strange. Let's move on to other important topics. We have another image as well. Yes, today is a day of bizarre images, isn't it?
There's a reason for it, right?
Because, well, yes,
It's not like two drunk robots fighting.
it isn't bizarre in a bad way. It's just bizarre. I mean, a person dressed as lettuce dancing, that's what's more bizarre.
No, but there's a reason for
But it's more bizarre.
big.
No, but it's not bizarre. I mean, you don't need to dress up as a lettuce to tell people to wash their hands. I mean, look, this is just part of what cruise lines have had to do.
These are things that cruise lines have had to implement. It's just that that's the level of maturity we're at as adults, that they've had to put people working on cruises dressed as vegetables who say that if you don't wash your hands, and you see there are all the signs like, well, sorry, you have to wash your hands, no food otherwise. They say no, but I'm not sure what else they tell them. No, if you don't wash your hands, you don't eat. Because, well, you've already seen how it is with norovirus, hantavirus, and so on. See, no, by the way, about the cruise, hantavirus showed up in several passengers. Yes, I can say that when the husband of victim one passed away, not patient zero as they call him, many people hugged her and she was crying. Just imagine that's a very strong source of contamination. Of course, things like saliva, tears, and so on.
Yes, as we'll hear, I'm not saying whether we'll hear where this is going.
Washy washy before yummy yummy.
Wachi before yummy. I mean, wash your hands before eating. The thing is, if they suddenly have to talk to us,
Well, like kindergarten kids, right? You do talk to kindergarten kids like that, but well, that's how things are.
even kindergarten kids, right? There won't be another one who says like, it's not me. I'm already grown up. And no, I don't need you to talk to me like a baby, right? Basically. Well, yeah, some people do laugh and all that, but some people, well, they just make fun of the lady. This one is good.
What they have to do to eat.
You have to wash your hands or else it starts. Well, this one does.
Many adults don't wash their hands. No, it's not like,
I'm nosy, but it was a lot. Every time I go to the bathroom and get to the bathroom, I see people coming out and coming out and coming out, and you don't stop in the bathroom. Today, there's no soap. I could understand that. There's no soap, so I just leave and wash up or put on some gel in the car, whatever, because sometimes it's true. Sometimes there's no soap, but it's strange that there's no soap, and I keep seeing the same thing.
if not, we didn't learn. We didn't learn. We have a very short memory.
This person was about to leave. Well, he's going to go out. He's going to run into his friends. He literally just came out of the bathroom. And he's going to run into his buddies, his friends. And when I run into an acquaintance, I don't know why he wouldn't want to say hi. But once they go out, they go out and some of them wash up. But a lot of them skip it, just like that. I mean, he's going to eat. He's going to greet his friends. He's going to be around there. All right. Well, that's how things are, friends. Let's move on to other important matters as well. Hey, so Tedros Adhanom, the director of the WHO, has sent out a message. So let's listen to what the director of the WHO has to say. And I'll say it right now. Let's also go over some other details before we get to the comments. All right? What is Tedros Adhanom saying? Adhanom, what's going on?
Well, basically, just quickly what he's saying at that moment. Right now, he's already in Spain. And remember that well, it's strange, right? But it's nice. I mean, because it gives you a certain, what's it called, certainty. But there he goes, and he's in Spain waiting for the arrival of the people from the Virusit cruise ship. And he said that now it's a moral obligation for nations to submit to and believe in the WHO. He says only when we support each other can we respond more effectively to viruses and outbreaks. Countries are expected to cooperate based on international health regulations. In other words, what he's saying is that he expects countries to first report if there are outbreaks in their countries. If their country has several cases, they should be providing that information. For example, the United States is no longer in the WHO. So let's say you could say, well, the other day Kennedy came out and made this recorded message where he says, no, we're not going anymore. We're not in the WHO anymore. We're not going to follow what they say. So that means that maybe they won't provide information anymore. And this affects everyone because you won't know what might be happening inside the United States in terms of epidemiology. If there's an outbreak and people are traveling globally or to the United States, we might not even know they're the original source.
Ni nos enterar que son. I mean, if there's an outbreak and people, the basics, which are the ones that this organization has set, that for the United States, maybe things are happening in the United States. Maybe we won't even find out what's happening. Maybe we won't even know that they are the ones. The problem is, as they say, common sense is the least common. Zero, yes.
It's really tough.
Suddenly, those kinds of things, well, they're key. And let's also move on to others. Let's watch the message from, what's his name? Kennedy, right? Let's listen to what he says.
Hello, I am Robert F. Kennedy, Jr., your Secretary of Health and Human Services. On Thursday, the United States formally withdrew from the World Health Organization. We made this decision to regain our independence, protect American sovereignty, and free our public health policy from a system that no longer serves the American people. The World Health Organization has lost its way. It has strayed far from its founding mission, and it has become entangled in bureaucracy, conflicts of interest, and international power politics. During the COVID pandemic, those failures were not just abstract. They were deadly. The world watched as transparency collapsed, accountability disappeared, and ordinary citizens paid the price. That hasn't changed, and it's not getting any better. President Trump immediately recognized the problems with the WHO. In fact, one of his first executive orders of his second term began the formal process of withdrawing the United States from the World Health Organization. It was an early and decisive sign that American health policy would respond to the American people and not to foreign bureaucracies. Today we are completing that action. Protecting Americans here at home and abroad is our top priority. And that's why my team at HGCS, working closely with career officials and scientists at HHS and the State Department, has strengthened our biosecurity, improved disease surveillance, refined outbreak preparedness, and expanded rapid response capabilities for any public health emergency, no matter where it begins. We don't need outside institutions to do that. From now on, the United States' involvement with the WHO will be limited solely to completing our withdrawal and safeguarding the health and safety of the American people. All U.S. funding has ended. All U.S. government personnel have stopped working there. I deeply believe in this. Only the United States has the scale, innovation, and leadership to drive global health solutions that put people first, starting with our own citizens. Although we are withdrawing from the WHO, the United States will never withdraw from its leadership in global health. The United States will keep leading. We will lead with science, with integrity, with transparency, and with responsibility. And let me say this clearly. For the Americans who died alone in nursing homes, gracias. The small businesses that were destroyed by irresponsible mandates, whose lives were upended by unelected foreign officials who were never accountable to them. This decision is for you. Thank you. Thank you.
Gracias. It's the message that Kennedy himself gives, and that obviously has, I mean, like everything, nothing is black or white. I mean, of course, there were problems and omissions and things. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Carlos. Pero también, very clear. Of course, that's the kind of influence that can happen. Thank you. Mora, that organization can be improved, but it must be improved. In fact, it's urgent that it be improved, but also it's striking that the United States is abandoning that, because at the end of the day, it was also a way for them to influence their goals and, let's say, their health frameworks. Because at the end of the day, there are also policies, right? And also there are ways of seeing the world from a medical point of view. The United States pulls out of it, but says it still wants global influence on the issue. After that, I see it as difficult, honestly, because at the end of the day, the protocols and the things that will continue to be done will keep evolving. And now, without the United States, it's better with the countries that are still part of the organization. And I insist, well, each country as well, each one is responsible for what happens. I mean, blaming the WHO for what happened internally in the United States is ridiculous, because at the end of the day, each country had its own rules. It wasn't a single country that followed the WHO's guidelines exactly as the WHO requested. I mean, nobody really cared. If anything, what we saw is that everyone made up their own rules. China was super strict. The United States was semi-strict in some regions. Mexico was pretty,
let's say it was
flexible, pretty flexible. And I think it was handled in a, well, controversial way, if you will, but also with a lot of awareness among the people, right? People, or at least most of them, tried to take care of themselves and others and all that.
I think that for me, the main problem in the United States was that it became politicized. Not wearing a mask meant you were on the left, that you were woke. Having it or not having it meant you were on the right or something like that. I mean, those things are ridiculous. To politicize something is just...
To politicize something that's about health. Well, imagine that. I don't know if it's very good. But anyway, the point is that it happens and it's mentioned. I mean, this message is happening while we're experiencing not just one, but two outbreaks, one on norovirus. And norovirus, well, it's tough. Anyone who's had a stomach flu knows what it's like. Well, I mean, it hits hard, and especially if you're weak or if it hits you really hard or whatever, or if you don't take care of yourself properly, it can be dangerous. But norovirus is basically very common. Anyone who has kids in school or something has probably dealt with the famous stomach flu at some point. You know, suddenly they're dealing with that issue. This happened the other day. Tarios. Well, today it was reported from a cruise ship, and well, it's also important considering what's happening in the world. So let's move on to the comments. It's the weekend, and it's time to talk about movies. We watched a very curious, very strange movie that, if I'm not mistaken, is based on a book by Stephen King. If not, I wasn't sure about this. And, well, it's a movie called, I think, but please correct me if I'm wrong, but it's called The Long Walk.
Walk.
Maybe like The Long Road or something. I don't know.
A long walk.
You've probably seen it. It's a movie where, well, you live in a world. Well, it's one where something happens, or something like a kind of fascism, something like that in the United States. And music is already banned. Everything is banned. And then they come up with the idea, kind of like the Hunger Games, you know, they come up with the idea of choosing certain people. They do a long walk, like a challenge, so to speak. And the last one, left walking alive. Well, this is the one who survives, and he wins some money, right? And that's the premise of the story, right? I won't tell you more. It's entertaining. It's curious. It's weird, right? And well, that's it.
Horrible. Those are the kinds of movies that need really good actors, because you won't see a lot of action, a lot of cuts. I mean, you really need to have a great cast, because if not, the whole movie just falls apart.
Because honestly, you won't see people walking and
Talking and living through their problems, not just watching events unfold as they experience them. It's
excellent theatrical exercise, theatrical acting wise. Yes, exactly, because it's not easy to carry the movie.
Imagine a movie, a play like that, where they have something like a treadmill and all that. I think there's one like that, but obviously with a different theme, and where they're talking the whole time like this, delivering monologues, obviously sharing their problems even up to the audition.
That theatrical version would be good.
It would be good.
A millionaire, it would be a great idea, $1 million idea.
I'm going to do it. So if anyone
Wants to take it?
you have to ask, obviously. Well, if not, don't do the same as this one. What's his name? I forgot the author's name. He's the guy who's going to collect royalties. Greetings to Christy. I'm a calm interview. She already says greetings, Christy. Greetings, Christy.
How have you been? Hey, it's true. Let's get more lively here in the chat because it's way too calm. Mo, greetings, Christy. Awesome.
Is the idea there?
Something like that likely exists already. Nothing is truly unique. It's just that I feel that Unfortunately, I think theater lacks a lot more support, especially here in Mexico. But I think theater people are so creative, but they don't have much budget, and that's why they can't pull off wilder ideas.
You go. You have to, I mean, yes, to think about doing theater professionally. Well, it's basically just Mexico City and maybe one or two other cities. And it's complicated. Complicated, not impossible, but complicated. Engineer Jesus Villa says, how have you been? Greetings to Dallas. Hello, folks.
Greetings.
A guy from Monterrey in the US. That's great. Christy says, patent the street idea.
Just in case, greetings to Guillermo Escobar, and you have to make one of those multiverses, those multiverses from the movies. Eat or die, speak or die, fight or die, keep making hints or die. Tell the truth in the show.
There's one like that, right? Remember the one where they have to transmit something?
We saw one. Wow, it was really good and wonderful. Suddenly, I remember here on YouTube, I suddenly feel like in one of the Black Mirror episodes where people are basically ranked in tiers, right? And then there's a certain level where they stream all the time. Yeah, and they earn points. I don't know what for. I don't really remember what for right now, but people at the lower levels are on a bike. Do you remember? Yes, of course, they're on a bike and they're earning their points. Yes. And at one point, one of the characters, the main characters are an African-American guy and a chubby girl. As far as I remember, she was a chubby girl and they become very good friends. Something happens to him and to her, and he goes out and joins the ones who are streaming and goes totally crazy. And from then on, he becomes super famous. Instead of fighting, he gives a message that he's fed up with the system and everything. And instead of getting rid of the system, they make him the main streamer. And now he goes out every day to say exactly the same thing. It's something that's really fun and also really weird. This is from Black Mirror. I don't remember which episode or which season or which episode it was, but it was good. Greetings to Verder, and theater with video screen elements is something else. Now that's the trend. Now also when they do, what's it called? When they project images, and we have a friend whose brother does that, and they react, like if there's a spot and they touch it and the spot changes shape. It's awesome. I love that.
Hey, I see it. There's another movie where they're streaming, but it's like an action movie, but they're streaming at the same time. Don't you remember?
An action one. Oh, yes, the one where they take on a challenge. It's really good. I can't recall the name, but I remember Emma Stone is in it, I think. No, not Emma Stone. Emma Roberts, Julia Roberts' niece. Emma, let me see.
Motorcycle.
Yes. They get into it like imagine you join an online challenge and they keep sending you challenges. It was that one about a guy. They keep sending them challenges and they have to do them to earn money. Imagine Mr. Beast, but your dog. It's extreme. Here it is. It's called Nerf. A game without rules.
Go ahead, write something for the main part. There are several.
Dave Franco, Robert's brother, appears. This is John Deere.
James Franco.
Oh, look, it's really good. It's fun.
Nerf se llama.
It's on Netflix. It says here.
Well, Nerf is like, well, yeah, it's kind of like Nerve.
Like Nerf, but with an E. Yeah, it's fun.
Yeah, it's a popcorn movie. It is. Let's see. Throw out some other popcorn movies. Let's see, because literally right after this stream, we're ending it pretty soon because we want to watch a movie.
Shout out to Ben from His and Her for the movie recommendation. Yeah.
It sounds pretty familiar.
We watch a series with that name, but it's not actually like that.
Hey, Holcomb, let's see.
Let's see if we watched it. If we watched it, yes.
Yes, the one about La Chava.
It's good.
All right.
Good, but not a movie unless you mean a different one.
If it's a series, it's a series. Check it out. It's a mini series too, and we have good actors.
Actor.
Good twists. Usually the youngest one, same thing. Suddenly, I wasn't really into that movie,
Super into it. It's a real episode. Look, the girl becomes a singer, right? The girl wants to do something, but nothing happens to her. And he, like, in his annoyance, his sadness, goes out and gets into someone else's stream. I mean,
Well, he left like a sense of terror. Doesn't ring a bell.
that says no jokes. Do you know why an astronaut takes his problems to the moon? Why? Because there's less gravity there.
That's a really good one, Dad. That's a really good one because, sorry, you can even use that one now that the moon is trending and all. Yeah.
I feel like a field without cows. And how's that? Well, listless. That's a good one.
That's good.
Bless you.
I like it because it puts us in the right mindset in a simple way.
The simple one.
Ya la vimos. It's really good. Hey, Bara's aunt recommends a really good one. We've already talked about it here. Have we watched it yet? Yeah, of course. It's amazing. One of the latest ones we've seen. I think it's the last one we watched from him. The one about politics. Remember?
The series.
Yeah, of course.
Really good. Yeah.
Muy really good. Yeah, it's really great. Very good, really good.
Excellent. That performance, I'm not going to take that away from her. Yeah.
No. Besides, Cheese Plamont appears and he's really great.
Well, what's his name?
Cheese Plamont.
We still haven't learned it.
It's such a great name, Alzor.
We just saw him in another movie with Emma Stone.
In Begonia.
Begonia. Bugonia.
I always called it that.
I always called her Bugonia. Look, this area is strong, but look at Bugonia's. What's going on? It's Begonia, all good. They don't know when until the end or halfway through, just because, I mean,
Really crazy.
you have to wrap up the whole movie and you're already in the middle. Are you gonna say damn Pepe? But in the end, at least. Well, I'm not gonna say anything else, nothing else. Cheers.
Capítulo 2. But greetings to Israel Rodriguez. Greetings from Jalisco, Mexico. Greetings to Christy. They commented. Yes, it's from Black Mirror Season 1, Episode 2.
Yes, she was one of the first to join.
She didn't join. But anyway.
She joined as one of the most classic ones.
Well, greetings to Aunt Eve. How are you, Aunt Eve?
Do you recommend it? Because honestly, there isn't, I mean, we don't have anything right now, do we? Unless you want to see something. You want to see it. Because it's almost, since May, you can already take charge.
He says, Hey, Pepe asks, could the revealed files have anything to do with so many missing scientists? When there was an article about something like that, didn't you see it?
Huh? Yeah, we have it set for tomorrow to go over it. There have just been so many things already. They aren't even sure if they should release them anymore. I said it since there were too many mysteries. Is it the Green Route 2.0? Yeah.
But this is based on notes.
It's based on information. Information, of course, not based on what's actually happening. But yeah, there were things and more things. Whether he leaves it like Grimmer or I don't know what. Well, that's how it is. The day was really interesting, honestly. Euphoria, we haven't seen it actually, but I have seen it.
I am watching it.
I really am. It's good.
It's good. No. It's not your style. It's not your style. Well, it's about teenagers, but it's intense. I mean, it deals with heavy topics. Wouldn't you watch it with kids? No, definitely not. But it has amazing cinematography, and the music is also really good. And it's good. The cast is really good. Zendaya is in it. Jacob Elordi is in it. Hunter, I can't remember her last name. Hunter. And then there's Sydney. The actress has become really popular and, well, it's really good, honestly, yeah.
Really good.
Greetings, Antonio Matal, and greetings from Waxahachie in Texas. Go ahead with the show. Pepe, greetings, Antonio.
Thank you very much, Antonio. Big greetings all the way to Waxahachie, Texas. And over here, Dieguito says the last season of Black Mirror is really trippy.
It's just that I feel like they haven't managed to, I mean, the first seasons were really good, but they haven't managed to reach that level again. Because we've also evolved a lot when it comes to technology and things like that.
It's just that it's not as
Me lo veo not so strange anymore. I remember in the first season thinking, that's crazy. How did they come up with that? A year or two later, you see it happen and think, wow, that was quick. Watching Black Mirror, I now see those things in real life.
a lot of things.
They say it. Secret Service is another movie.
That's a movie. See, I'm going to write it down. Let's see. The Cabin sounds familiar too. Oh, it's a horror one.
I don't think so.
See, I think so.
Yeah. She says, what's it called? What was the movie we watched about?
Yeah? Or the movie service.
Justa. Just answer the question. Justa.
Justa.
Diego said The Cabin is a thought-provoking movie.
The Cabin is thought-provoking. Diego. Or are you trolling me?
Verderi, go watch a good concert. Hey, Verderi, have you seen them? Since you work with audio, have you seen the images from BTS concerts? So it's so mind-blowing. What about the whole setup?
No, it's impressive. The stage is really crazy.
Yeah, it's all set.
Ruben, we should pay more attention to North Korea. There are some interesting things happening there.
Serious ones.
I see. Yeah, I'm just telling you. It's a lot of things. But anyway, yes, we'll take that into account. Ruben, yes.
Exactly, says Beto Barra. Now look, the possession, the origin of the sea is called From the Sea Comes the Book. That's where whoever tells you. See, that's the possession. Greetings to says Diguito. What's up with this fever? Which fever? The money fever, the dance fever, the rock fever, the jungle fever.
What are we talking about?
Diguito isn't very... No.
Dan Morgan appears there.
No, but it's called Possession. In Spanish, it's called El Origen del Mar.
Is it the classic one? No.
Well, I don't know. Guillermo Escobar. You saw it? You don't measure up? Yes, of course. Yes, of course. We saw it. I think when he put it on, we watched it. Greetings to that. We look spectacular. Or who? Greetings, right? She says, a friend was the local stage manager and another friend was the official photographer. Amazing production and the fans were possessed. No. It's just that it's impressive. I don't know anything about my aunt. Right now they're going to tell me. Of course you don't know. I know very little about them. No, I really don't know much. Now I want that. But I mean, really, seeing the images makes you want to be there. It's not that I don't like this group. It's just that I simply don't follow them. But seeing them there, the people outside singing who are like 2 blocks away, and the fans' screams can be heard from about a kilometer away. No, it's not that being a big fan of something is so cool.
Hey, but wait, Anais, I have a question. Did you go Anais or
Yes.
Anais? I mean, as far as I know, you're a fan, or were you able to go? Anais,
He shares a lot of things on Twitter.
well, about them. As far as I know, she's a fan. So I hope you were able to go, and I imagine it must have been amazing.
I mean,
The few clips I've seen, it really is impressive.
Friday was the first concert, right? They started sharing images from BTS videos at the wrestling event.
Okay.
They went all out there in the front row, super excited. And the next day, today, they were already at the concert with images from the wrestling event at the concert. You know what they loved? Yes, they say no, because I'm not such a fan.
Okay.
Now I became a fan of
Okay.
It says Possession 1 and 2 are based on the Jiddisch.
Okay. Interesting.
He says, it's true. BTS fandom is what Michael Jackson's fandom used to be, but without the good music.
Yeah.
Do you think they don't have good music? I mean, I haven't really sat down to listen.
Well, if it were as good as the music Jackson used to make, right? I think right now we'd be fans too.
I think so, right? Don't you think? I don't know.
Honestly, I don't know, for example, about television.
I had heard.
Television, I don't even listen to.
No, but I have heard it. I mean, it's just, I mean,
Uh-huh.
I'm sure I've heard it, but I don't know who they are.
it's like, I don't know, a certain kind of music from what's his name?
For example, I've listened to this group, Blackpink. They're also from Korea. Like 2 or 3 songs, but mostly I listen to them because they're in Just Dance.
Okay.
Also, several of their songs are in Just Dance.
Yeah, I mean, I don't doubt that. I think the lyrics are probably what gets people's attention, or maybe things I'm not noticing.
Yeah.
Or maybe it's the show or something. Yeah, I mean, there must be something more. But the musical part itself, I mean, for example, what this guy does, man, it's like hip hop and no, it's not this. What's his name? The creator who I like too, but it's the other one.
Another one I play all the time is
Kendrick Lamar. I mean, Kendrick Lamar has some really interesting combinations in his music and does strange things. Rosalia, for example, also creates really unusual compositions and does some pretty weird things.
I'm glad you mentioned Rosalia.
So, yes, no, but
5 minutes.
he does really interesting things.
Yes, he does things like, geez.
Jeez. Well, I mean, speaking of Latin pop here, well, the one who occasionally does songs with Los Angeles Azules, Belinda, for example. I mean, she has a certain charm. She has a certain musical blend that's cool. I mean, it's nice, it's fun. And those parts, sometimes I feel like I hear some really popular music that, I mean, I just don't get into. Maybe, right? He says Michael Jackson had the best musicians and producers in history, right, Dad? Yeah. Well, I've seen stories, you know, about, for example, a certain arrangement. He talked to him like, let's say the I don't know, the musician, the one you imagine as really highbrow, spoke and said, hey, can you come help me with this arrangement? No. They'd come agree to everything, make the arrangement, and that was it. Right? I mean, he was obsessed with mixing and raising things up. And they said from the documentaries I've seen about Michael Jackson, besides, he wouldn't tell you like, look, you're going to add these compositions. No.
Because he would sing it to you. He didn't know how to write music.
He couldn't write music. So he'd say, here, I want it to sound like pa 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 pa. And they'd try, but he'd say, no. And then he would keep giving them directions until it came out the way he had imagined it.
He and the other one, Gianni. They got it from Gianni, him too. He doesn't know how to read music. It's so strange. They work in music and don't know how to read music, he says. Novak's father phrases, losing an election is normal in a democracy. The bad thing is losing democracy in an election. Exactly. Novak's dad says, Viguito, do you like Spanish series? Oh, of course. Yes, yes. We've seen several. Watch Días Mejores. Wow, it's about an emotional support group. But wow, there's a main character. From Betty La Fea from New York. Días Mejores.
Mejores, I mean, yeah, noted.
And you can see them at the Possession from 2012, I found it. By the way, this movie is a supernatural horror film about a young woman named M, who is possessed, a young woman who is possessed by an evil spirit from a box. The book. Okay, but today they closed the BTS thing in Churubusco and outside of GMP2. Senante, because the fans filled the street. Yes, but seriously, I mean, it was impressive. See, he says, and there were people of all ages. I mean, when I came to the Zócalo, I saw old ladies, like almost 80 years old little girls, moms and dads. I mean, no. Beto Barba says, yeah, they're really intense. Look, Hereditary, yeah. Here, it's called The Devil's Legacy. That's really crazy.
Yeah. We watched it recently, Hereditary. Do you remember?
Yeah, good to know, so I don't watch that one. That one too, by the way.
Yeah.
That one, I had already skipped it, honestly.
Edit it, I forget about that.
You're about to see it. La edita. Let me see the edit. We've given it.
Ah, yes.
I remembered, yes, we turned around, but yes, just by looking at it. The little girl and the mom.
It's just that actress is very intense.
Is intense.
She's really good, really good.
Good, you really believe her.
Yes, she has a really good one. Do you remember?
That's the one you better not watch. Yes. You know what? It's really good, but you better not watch it.
Abel says, Abelson, how are you, Abelson? Greetings all the way to Sweden. He says, did anyone see the Michael Jackson movie? Did anyone see it? Would you recommend it? I'm going to see it today. Had been showing for a couple of weeks here in Sweden. Well, actually, no, I haven't seen anyone close to us mention whether they saw it or not. I have seen comments, for example, reviews.
See.
Some people don't like it. Michael Jackson's daughter doesn't like it. But, well, she's seeing it from a more personal perspective after all. She's his daughter.
Yes.
I think let's say it's in the middle. It's not bad. That's how I see it. Let's see, what does Rotten Tomatoes say?
Look, people say that 97% liked it.
Yeah, like if you're a fan of Michael Jackson, watch it.
They say the version is like a very Disney version.
It's very superficial when it comes to his life.
Very not.
Don't talk about his problems.
None of that. I mean, if you're going to enjoy their music, you're going to enjoy it. 100. This one says that in that sense, it's spectacular. Now, the critics give it a 39%. I mean, out of 100. So the critics wanted to see more drama. They wanted to see the tougher side.
Just like the one about Queen, right? The story about Rhapsody and all the trouble that guy got into, right? His boyfriend got him involved and kept dragging him down. But Michael doesn't talk about that.
No, that's not it.
He just talks about his success and being a star. That's all.
Let's say that. But from what I say, people say 90. I mean, people, the audience, who in the end,
Well, they're the ones who are going to dance there.
if you enjoy the...
Uh-huh.
Exactly. I mean, this... I do plan to watch it. I mean, not Hon in the theater, but once it's, on some platform.
Leonardo Pepe says, I'm curious. I want to know if they've started counting the votes from Peru because there was a problem. Yes. I mean, the difference is very small between second and third place. It's still like 12,000, 15,000, something like that. It's super ridiculous. So they really have to count very carefully.
Greetings, and that's right, Eric. I mean, it already is pretty amazing. We have to start setting aside what might not be so interesting and try to focus on the most important parts. Because yes, there might be some impressive videos with limited context, like some that have already been released with explanations. In fact, a lot of videos I haven't even shown are just videos of birds, and that's it. And the explanation is birds. So why should we show them? I'm trying to show what's really unusual, right? The ones that don't have much explanation. But there are some, for example, of the things they revealed that it's a flock of birds. So what's the point? You see, I mean, why did you classify it in the first place? I mean, why did you classify it? Exactly. It's like suddenly things get declassified that I didn't include and that don't really make sense, but it's still interesting.
Yes, I edit them and he says, haha. And yeah, what a mess. And besides, the fans of Taka, from BTS and the Cruz Azul supporters got together. It's impossible. Oh no, it gets like this here when the Nortec thing happens. Wow. And suddenly There have already been several times when other events overlap, like Nortec, and they decide to do it at Sintermex. Like, for example, Terror Fest is done for, or Cosplay Fest is done for. No, and it becomes impossible.
It's happened to us by mistake. You forget, and suddenly I'm on the avenue.
It's over, says Pepe. They're coming. Well, he says it said the Michael Jackson documentary is better, and he says, come, send help. It's a good movie. And sometimes he asks me a question. When do you find the time to watch movies? When I see you constantly giving the news. Well, right after being live is when we watch them.
Yes, actually, right now.
Just weekends and occasionally Fridays.
Yes, but our trick is that for movies, we're not too interested in, but we think are good. We watch them a little at a time.
They said the live stream would be 30 minutes, but we've already watched for an hour.
You see, we expected that since it was meant to be short. But this one, for example, a movie we watched recently called Left Hand. What's it called? South, the Lefty or something like that. Oh, right. About a girl who...
My left hand.
My left hand. I mean, a movie about a Taiwanese girl, a beautiful movie.
It's very simple.
We wanted to watch a Taiwanese movie since we rarely see films from Taiwan. Yes, yes.
The movie is cool.
Yeah, it's cool. I think the movie is from Netflix. We watched it on a platform, right?
We watched it on Netflix, yeah.
Yeah, on Netflix, right? The point is that movie, well, it wasn't some masterpiece. I mean, it's a good movie and it's good to get to know a little bit about what Taiwan is like, right? That's it. I mean, you have to go out to the little markets and that's where you find things. That's where the good stuff comes out. But that movie, for example, we watched it over almost 2 weeks, right? I mean, it took us a long time to finish it because we would watch it every time we ate and say, oh, let's keep watching this. And then we would forget about it. And like that, we watched it a little at a time, but we finished it. See, would you recommend it? Yeah, honestly, I would. I recommend it if you want to watch something different, something nice, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think you can watch it with kids, for example.
Bueno, exactly.
I better not.
Yes, it's kind of...
Hay unas escenas así.
Adolescentes adultos.
Sí, adolescentes
Adolescentes, porque sí tiene dos, tres temitas. About sexuality. No. Yes. It's good. I mean, it's interesting because I imagined Taiwan in a certain way with Diego. With so much news, you start seeing that Taiwan is, in the end, a humid area, a green area, and it's not just about technology. Well, you often just focus on technology, but there are other factors. Let's move on.
If they make it through tomorrow, they'll have plenty of stories. Mother's Day, the Pumas versus America match, BTS. Well, yeah, stay inside if you can. Well, good luck to you.
You just make the turn. The traffic gets backed up.
It's something, Felipe.
Greetings, Beto. Come on, they're not leaving by bike. Guillermo isn't here. Greetings, big greetings to the community. Thank you very much. Have an excellent weekend. We'll keep talking tomorrow. Take care and happy Mother's Day in advance.
Congratulations.
Greetings. See you tomorrow.
We interrupt your regular programming. Thank you for tuning in to The Truth. This is
Live. The truth is intense. The unbelievable is real. Here we analyze it. Global perspective. Don't miss out. Tune into the channel. Pepe Live. Controlling the signal. Pepe and Astrid. Telling it like it is. Raw journalism. Respect matters here. Turn on alerts. Don't lose track. Until next time. Yes, sir. We're taking attendance.